Yo. A giant spot on my head.
Yeah, we're good.
I had that spot since I was like 15. It won't go away.
Yeah, we're good now.
Pretty bad.
Oh, what's going on?
Yo, what's going on? I actually went out, man. I've actually been outside.
Nice.
Yeah, had a few claws, as Owen would call them, around the plane.
I don't know if you heard.
What about you, man? How things are you?
I'm good. I had work earlier today, and then I don't know if you heard the music that was playing, but that was a couple.
I kind of liked it, actually.
The last couple tracks were tracks I produced for this project I'm working on with Brett.
Yeah, usually I'm not a fan of. Yeah, it's a huge progress. It sounds so much better.
Yeah.
That's much better. It's way better. I mean, listen to it again quickly so I can actually tell you why I think it sounds better.
It's like we're doing this kind of like soul hip hop.
Cheesy chords, which is good. No, that's nice.
Yeah.
It sounds like that Stephen Crowder music too.
yeah.
That's not bad.
Yep.
Yeah, it's got a melody going on.
Yeah, with the chopped up vocals and all that craziness. And that's just the demo. Those are just little demos I had started for him.
Well, I did one of the best demos I've ever done. It was Prince Computer Blue, because it's got Father's song guitar solo at the end. And I've never seen anyone transcribe it right. I've just never seen it. And I don't remember Prince ever playing it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember Prince playing that ever. And I would know, because I'm a big guitar fan when it comes to Prince, and I don't remember seeing him play Computer Blue. And when you watch his tribute bands do it with his actual band members, they fuck it up too. They don't do it right.
Mm.
And I haven't seen anyone actually transcribe it. And for me, that was like my favourite Prince piece of music. That's the thing that really got me hooked. Was that piano bit. You know, his dad plays it in Purple Rain. I don't remember. I can play it because we won't get copyrighted for it. Doesn't recognise it if you play it just on guitar. But yeah, so I spent all day just doing it because no one had done it before. I really wanted like a guitar YouTube channel. So it's hard to find stuff that people genuinely haven't done before.
Yeah.
So to get Computer Blue, I thought would be a really good idea. It's quite a rocking song, isn't it?
I love how that thing has the
Do you
handle.
remember it? It was like, you know, it's got the Wendy and Lisa at the beginning going, Is the water warm enough, Wendy? Yes, Lisa. Shall we begin? Yes, Lisa. But it's got the Father's Day song on it. And then Warner Brothers re-released it. father's song, and you listen to it, it's the Purple Rain song where he plays it in C.
Uh-huh.
I don't understand that because Prince played it in B. I'm calling it out as a fake. I don't think Prince would have re-recorded it in a different key. I think he had too much other projects to be doing.
Yeah.
That's in B. So it doesn't, like, when you listen to someone play, it's hard, especially with Prince, you know it's Prince. It's like when you hear Slash play.
Yeah, yeah.
That's what's so great about Slash. He can hit a couple of notes, you know it's Slash.
Yeah,
It's got that
style-wise.
hit about him. If you hear, but with the Prince on, it's like, that's not Prince. That's someone mimicking Prince. It's not Prince. But do you remember that thing that had that? Remember that one?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I was doing that, and then it got fucking. I didn't just get a copyright strike, like they took it off.
Really?
Yeah, so I was like, oh fuck this, I'm not even gonna bother doing YouTube. I was gonna reboot my YouTube channel and really take my guitar playing seriously and put out some really good tracks. But if your most original track is fucked, then it's like, cheers guys.
That's so crazy to think they'd take down a video of you playing it.
Well, I'm playing it over the top of the original, I guess.
Well, I guess that gives them
But
an
even so, it's
excuse.
over 20 years old.
Yeah.
I didn't think copyright. I thought it had a time limit.
It does. I'm not sure if 20 years is the time limit, though. I feel like it's longer.
Think it is.
I think it's
even
50. I want to say it's 50.
No,
I think it's
really?
something long.
I think 20 becomes educational. And also, it's educational use, like on jam.
Well, yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I love that. It's got that. I think he has the chord progression going. Should we go live? Are we live already?
Yeah, yeah. It's all good.
Oh, good. You've got a bit of Prince there. I'm a big Prince fan, guys. But yeah, I thought it would be a nice tribute to Prince. I thought it was over the time limit of music. I'm sure it's 20 years. That once a piece of music is 20 years, it's free for use. I think music's different. I'm pretty sure music's different. I'm pretty sure it's much lower than 50 years. And same with films, because films end up going on YouTube, don't they? Do you remember David Knight did It's a Wonderful
Yeah.
The Wonderful Life? And that's not 50 years, is it? I think that's 20. Maybe it is. I don't know.
Nah, It's a Wonderful Life is pretty old. I feel like that movie was from like a while ago. I can look it up.
It's just nice when you find a guitar solo that no one's done before, and if they have done it, they haven't done it right. And it's also a song that Prince didn't ever play. Like, I remember it being on Purple Rain. I don't remember him ever playing that live.
Yeah, I
Ever.
thought it was nice. Big Chris just popped in. He said he's heading to bed, but he told us to have fun and have a good night. I guess he just got in from working the night shift, which I know.
Yeah, it's pretty late here. It's like
I know how that goes.
Midnight here. What time is it where you? It's like 20 to midnight. So I guess we're landing and playing.
It's only 6:30 here. It's a Wonderful Life came out in 1946.
Really?
Yeah, I knew it was pretty old. It's a black and white movie.
So Purple Rain's a bit after that, wasn't it?
Purple Rain, I think, was late 80s.
80s.
Yeah.
That's one of the first films. That's probably one of the first movies I watched.
So let's get into this
Yeah.
Mercedes whatever her name
It's
is.
pissing me off, that Mercedes thing.
That people are
Because
defending her?
the only coverage on YouTube is from like the Gamergate community.
Uh-huh. I didn't get around to watching the video, but I know the
Well,
look
I
you're talking
commented on
about.
it, just said, hey, these are the charges. You're talking, well, I'm going to get onto the main subject in a bit. And then the first person to say I'm wrong, or how dare I accuse Mercedes, click on her profile, she's actually a witch.
You know,
Actually a witch.
there was something I had thought about. You know, it's funny how you can say things and then like almost find a whole nother meaning or something to pull out of it. Like, remember in our last podcast how I was talking about on porn sites the #1 trend thing? Like 10 years ago it used to be like, or I don't know if I said this in the podcast. I know I mentioned Owen Benjamin has mentioned
Yeah, you wrote
it.
it to me, yeah.
But I was saying the thing, yeah, I wrote it. I was saying the thing about how it used to be black guys banging white girls. It was like the forced trend on porn
do you know why
sites.
that might have been?
I
Because porn saved hip-hop.
how do
The
you?
hip-hop nearly went bust in the 90s. This is my theory. Hip-hop wasn't looking good in the 90s, like even with Snoop Dogg and Dre, it weren't that great.
Yeah,
And porn wasn't doing that great either. So the two businesses merged.
I could see that. Because I know
Porn
guys,
met hip-hop.
I know people in the hood that sell like bootleg movies, and they sell porn movies just right along with it. Like porn is a black
that's why
market
hip-hop
item
got
in
so
the hood.
sexualized, because so instead of people, it's
I could
quite
see
tricky
that.
to distribute porn. In
Sort
the
of
90s.
merged
You
the
didn't
two.
quite have the internet. But if you could just lower it a little bit, you could make it the videos, and then like make it the culture. So hip hop was dying, porn was dying, and then they both like gave each other a giant boost.
Yeah, I could
Because
see that.
then it makes it acceptable to buy porn because you're just buying a Snoop Dogg DVD, right?
Yeah.
That looks okay to buy, but you know it's porn.
Yeah, I could see that. Well, anyway, the thing is the new trend nowadays is the incest videos. So I was thinking about that then.
How do they prove it though?
I mean, you prove it just go to X Hamster or any site, and if you
Yeah, I told you I can't even watch normal porn.
well, I'm just saying if you just bring up the front page, they'll give you like trending things the same way Twitter does or anything like that.
I want to see passport evidence.
And you know, incest is always on the front page. It's always, you know, stepmother, brother, sister, what, and you know they're not. You can tell they're both actors or actresses, but it's the storyline or the trend being given to the thing. So if it's like if this incest stuff is one of the biggest trends in porn, these people are tweaked out on meth, you know.
Yeah, you could understand if it's a taboo, like a.
Yeah, it's then that's the thing is it's like the final taboo
Like a trend.
basically. Yeah. And like I said, it's a very highly searched thing so in that industry. So, I mean, I just am thinking, you know, from the standpoint of if you're tweaked out on meth, you're having money problems, you know the most searched for thing in your area of work happens to be this incest stuff. I mean, it's like again, I'm just making on a surface level case, like basically the case of plausibility, like, because that's the thing. I don't think people would think that when they hear, oh, here's this woman, yeah, she's a porn star, she's being charged with molesting her child, the bedroom is set up like a porn studio. If this is the most highly searched for, highly regarded thing, like, all you'd have to say is, well, maybe they were having money problems, and they figured that was the big ticket,
Well,
the big paycheck.
Hinting that it was digital online media. They were hinting at that, and I don't think the police do fuck around. Like, there's like this to the people who are on YouTube. They're like, Mercedes, she just had some meth. Ha 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 ha. We knew her. We spoke to her. It's like they've got a thing because they had her on the show.
Yeah.
And it's like, guys, you're like meth isn't funny.
Yeah.
Not. Like, if you do get to talk to someone that's been on meth and is now off it, they didn't tell me.
Well, and the thing is,
asked, but they said like, it makes you eat, like it makes you psychotic. Like
Well,
the
and
stuff
that's
I did, I'm
that's
not
the
gonna tell
thing.
you what I did, but it was bad.
The thing about meth,
Unforgivable.
like the easiest way to put it that you hear about meth being used in the porn world is it's basically used for people to be able to do things they wouldn't normally want to do
Even consider.
otherwise. Yeah, yeah. Like that's the reality of it. Like, you know, you hear stories like people do meth before they do a train video or something where they're getting banged by like 5 people in a row and they're not going to
You
be
can
able
go
to
on
walk
YouTube, you can listen
afterwards.
to ex-drug addicts who were like proper drug addicts who like tried everything. Like they had a
Yeah.
heroin addiction for a while, they had a cocaine addiction, and they did the psychedelics, and they did the DMT, then they did the salvia, and they were always on the cannabis, then they did the drinking,
Yeah,
and then they did the prescription, they did the Adderall, they
me
did the
years ago.
Vitalins. They always say meth, don't.
Yeah.
Don't. It's like, I don't want to get religious. It's the most devilish, most evilest drug. God, it will make you do things to animals, to people you wouldn't think was you. That you do see the devil. Like they describe it in their own words as the devil's drug.
Yeah.
It takes over your soul, like it turns you dark.
I could see
And
that.
like,
I mean, and I could just see that. I mean, like I said, in the last podcast, I tried it once, but uppers more often than not have an adverse effect on me. So like, I was able to go to bed on it. I was fine. I didn't do much. I just tried a little, but it's like I
well,
have.
I think you see it in Breaking Bad. Like
Yeah,
I've heard,
yeah.
like I've not watched it, but apparently people that are doing the math, it's portrayed that they have psychotic episodes.
Yeah.
And do some pretty.
Well, it's not even. It's not even
It's
that.
like,
If you're doing
like
enough
you can
of it, you're
defend
going
Mercedes,
without
but
sleep.
Mercedes isn't Mercedes now. Mercedes is on meth
Here's the thing: is
at best.
even you know, if you're doing that, you're staying awake for days on end. So I mean, there's a psychosis that takes over anyway just from not sleeping. So to like just imagine not sleep. Everyone's had an all-nighter on
I'll
coffee.
be honest, I've had some drug binges where I've not had sleep. It wasn't meth. It was like cocaine. Ecstasy.
Yeah, yeah. But imagine.
Sometimes you get to 3 or 4 days, you start tripping out. Badly.
Yeah, and that's. But
And
that.
I've got a lot of mental control. It's like, dude, I know what's causing this. Like, it's because I'm.
Yeah,
Let's
yeah.
go a couple of days.
And that's what I'm saying. I've had the
But-
same thing where it might be like 2 days on a coke bender at most, like coke and drinking or something. But it's like imagine
it
like by
still
day
touches
4
us.
and you're
Like,
still
Jamie, you can probably
like
testify. Like, it's not something I'm bragging about. Like, I've fallen asleep drugged out in my youth. Not sure if I'm gonna wake up the next day, and you just don't care because you're so euphoric. You're like, I don't care if I die in my bed. Like, I'm so euphoric right now. So. Like, I could handle some heavy shit, but the no sleep, you're right, the no sleep can really, you need to be pretty strong-minded.
yeah.
You just go, oh, it's just the drugs, man, like, come on, this isn't reality, come on. You've been alive for 20 years, Paul, and
Well,
never happened to
that's what I'm saying is like, you know.
And you go, Paul, like, give it a week, and if you still feel the same, then I'll take it seriously.
And that's what I'm saying. Imagine you're on like day 3 of no sleep being jacked up on something that's like coke but 10 times stronger, and you're like, we're running out of money. We're in this porn industry. How can we make a lot of money real quick? Oh, well, a video of our little girl, you know, getting finger
Well, it's
banged
not
or
so much,
whatever.
I mean,
is
she
like...
hasn't got any other options for porn, because I imagine you've got to hit the wall at some point.
Yeah, and she even said, I saw an interview with her where she even said she started late. She started in her 30s. Like,
oh yeah, I forgot about that. But it's just the way that people like, as soon as, because she helped out, you know, the gaming community, and she was on like Rebel Media. It's like, it's not the Mercedes I know. It's like, she wasn't on meth.
yeah.
I'm sure she was a lovely girl. I'm not even buying that because she was.
Well, I mean,
in porn.
even
I
like,
don't think anything good comes out of porn.
here's the thing though, is
Nothing
like,
good comes out of porn. Nothing.
But even the other thing is like these two things should be just compartmentalized. I feel like okay, she can have, you know, politics on video gaming or whatever, and you know, be against open borders or whoever cares, but like still be doing this other, you know what I mean? It's like there's no correlation between like not being an incestual perv or whatever the hell these accusations are to her political views. Like, this is a moral deficiency we're dealing with here, not like a...
It's like I'm not repeating the same, like I'm repeating the same point just in case people haven't watched this. Bring up that story of that sexy woman that smashed her baby against a wall, killed it, chopped it up, put it in a teddy bear, and kept it for 3 days. She got 18 months, and because she's so hot, everyone's like, yeah, she'll get banged as soon as she gets out. Some guy will be like, okay.
Yeah.
People underestimate what tits and vagina, the currency that has.
Yeah, that's
and
true.
And these incels, like one of the comments were, well, the only people like supporting her were like teenagers, incels, and gamers. And I was like, kind of proves my point.
Yeah.
You're just proving my point. And then they go, oh, well, in her statement, she is saying the ex-husband's a fundamentalist Christian. And I was like, yeah, that's what...
Well,
like,
and
if
see,
I wrote a movie script, an occultist was high on meth and was busted fucking her own kid, the script I would give her right would be to blame Christian fundamentalists. Like,
yeah. Well, I was gonna say, because you know
so,
that's red meat to people like the drunken peasants. And,
why would you say that?
Like,
what has Christianity got to do with you being in jail with no bail?
Yeah, because well, that's the whole thing. Because all these charges are like legal. It's all a legal thing. Like whatever his religious views are, like you know, he could be an atheist and still be like, I don't want my daughter being raised in a house where they're making porn.
His sex magic that he advertises, because we make a link to that to the paedophilia. Oh no, you're just stereotyping the occultists. Oh, but hang on a minute. When it's the accuser saying, hey, you're fucking my child. Suddenly his, like, how come, like, do you have no standards?
Yeah.
Because yeah, it's driven me insane. It's just the way people are okay with it. It just depends who it is.
Yeah.
It's the same with the guitar community. Everyone's okay with Jimmy Page.
Well, and I've always said this kind of about Styx Hexenhammer, where I'm like, why does everyone flock to this guy when he's just this little dweeb Dungeons and Dragons like occultist? Like,
yeah, I'm Styxhammer. What the?
Yeah, like
put that shirt on.
And I'm just like, I mean, there's some issues too. Whenever he would talk about the occult, like, he would always get extremely disingenuous. And I'm like, this guy's not, like, I don't even know what I would want to call him, like an occultist apologist, basically. Like, he would just he would only ever give half-truths. And I'm like, you know, if you're going to be like, I know about this stuff, I'm republishing the books and shit like that, then talk about it like you know about it. But, like, when you're like, oh, it's not anything, it's nothing important, I just, you know, he's always bothered me.
I lost it so much on YouTube, right? There's this one girl who's defending Mercedes, and she's got ginger hair, so I kept calling her Axl Rose. I was going, listen here, Axl Rose. Like, how is like an innocent till proven guilty? Like, I spent time with Mercedes. She's not like that. It's like, did you see her mugshot? Did you see it? Did you see the other mugshot? She's not the Mercedes you knew.
Yeah. I haven't seen the mugshots.
I don't recognise her. She's gone. The guy she was fucking was a high-level Mason. He was looking good on the red carpet. Look at his mugshot. That's a meth addict. They're fucked. And the other thing is, you've got to remember, like, I don't want to lecture you about porn, but it's proven that for women, the more sexual partners she has, the less ability they have to pair bond.
Yeah.
And then, so when it's her daughter, oh, it's not believable. It's like, it adds up, guys. You've got a meth addict. The police found meth and guns. The mugshot is obviously on meth. You can look at her videos, they're deteriorating as she's on meth. And the cops, these allegations from 2017, there are 5 accusations of digital sodomy. You tell me what digital sodomy means.
Well, the thing in
And then
me.
if they got the warrant in 2019, that's a year and a half.
Well,
So if they've got evidence, what sexual evidence is going to last a year and a half? I'm guessing video.
the digital sodomy thing, what that is, because it's the term digits can be used for fingers, so that's what they're implying. They're implying they were fingering the child.
Digital though.
Yeah. That's what I heard on that. Her mugshot, oh my god, she looks like just.
It's not. You wouldn't know that was her.
Yeah.
And if someone said, "Oh, that's the porn star Mercedes," you wouldn't know.
I wouldn't
you
know.
You wouldn't fucking know. You'd think it's some meth head. She's also like in the epicenter. Like I'm guessing she lives in Hollywood. I'm just guessing. Where did she get busted?
I don't know.
So I'm going to give Mercedes some credit here. One of the allegations you're going to have to drop. It's of the husband. I haven't seen the photo, but he's just like hugging the kid a bit inappropriately. So, you know, you've got to have reasonable doubt. So, okay, yeah, I'm willing to circumstantial. But I don't think I can't imagine the police would make it this public, wait a year and a half, and then give no bail. They seem pretty confident. And they seized recording equipment over 5 allegations of digital sodomy or something. It sounds to me like they were making kiddie, like you said.
Well, I think they probably were too, yeah.
And what's sick is there's a market for this thing. Like, really?
On
Wait, what are we going to do?
I like that mustache he's got going.
Commented his way into being considered one of the most hated YouTubers.
What's with the pedo mustache? What is that? Why is he doing that?
He likes
It's
it.
totally
He likes it.
believable. I don't
2009, he
understand
branded
why
all
people,
meat eaters
like...
as murderers.
And like one of them had put her GoFundMe campaign up. She's got a GoFundMe campaign, or she did. She's only got $200. And that doesn't even make sense. Like, what are you funding? Like, she's going to get a legal state lawyer. And if she wins, guess what? She doesn't pay the legal fees. I don't think, like, I don't know, I don't live in America, but I'm pretty sure if you walk, you're not responsible for the fees.
I don't think so.
So why does she need a GoFundMe? She's so confident she's innocent. She just has no problem paying any lawyer she wants because she's going to walk, right? Right? You're not going to lose the money, are you, right? No. None of this makes any sense. And then her only statement is, it's because of my husband's a fundamentalist Christian. And people are buying that. They're like, yes, some people aren't okay with porn. Some people, you know, they just don't. Look, man, if my kid is with a girl and they're filming porn in the studio, they've got meth in the flat, and they've got guns, I'm going to be pretty concerned.
Well, yeah, and that's what I was saying before. Like, you could have an atheist who, you know, meth guns in a porn studio in the home where a child's being raised. Like, your religious denomination shouldn't even matter at that rate. Like,
no, but these people are okay if they're like, well, it's 2020, Jamie.
yeah, I don't know.
It's a 9-year-old, Jamie. 9-year-olds are pretty grown up, Jamie.
You know, I hate
They're a lot more mature than what they used and what you were.
I could go on a bit of a Owen Benjamin-esque tear about the drunken peasants. Well, see, that doesn't surprise me coming from the drunken peasants, though, because they're just, like, gluttonous slobs anyway. So I don't know what they wouldn't be okay with. Like, I don't know. I've always hated them. But it just, I don't know. I do think it's interesting you haven't heard, like, Paul Joseph Watson or anyone, like, some of those people, they haven't even touched it.
They kind of have a responsibility, though, don't they? Because they kind of pushed that. Anyways.
I don't know. I suppose. I would think that Paul should probably comment on it. I mean, I didn't know who she was until he had interviewed her and stuff like that. But, you know, you can't... I also don't want to get into the habit of, you know, holding people accountable to comment on other people's things.
Yeah, I get what you mean.
That's the whole, you know, David Duke endorsed Donald Trump, therefore Donald Trump's David Duke type stuff, which...
Yeah, but at the same time, it's the kind of news story that InfoWars would follow,
cover. Yeah.
regardless of the connection.
Yeah. No, that I agree with. You know, someone tied up in the Gamergate movement is facing these charges. You would expect all of them to be commenting on it.
I think it just shows society that most people aren't really that shocked by it. They're really not. And like you said, like, I don't go on porn sites as much as I should. I don't know incest porn. Like, I could understand it being an underground taboo kind of thing, and it picks up whatever views. There's obviously a market for it, but the fact it's a trend.
Yeah, it's a push thing. Owen Benjamin mentioned this, and he was right about it. That it is the pushed, you know, trend in porn right now. I mean, you could go to some sites, and that's like, if you just look at the top videos, that's all you'll see. Step, brother, mom, son, daddy, father, incest, like, nonsense. And like I said, more often than not, it's not really that. You know, it's actors portraying those roles. So, I mean, think about that. So if you have, you know, this thing that's like the hot trend and topic and everything like that, and people are looking for it, but they can't really get it. They can't really get...
Let's say, like, you've got to play. Like, Owen Benjamin makes a really good point. It only really sunk in for me today. I think it's Owen Benjamin that says it. He learned it from his dad, where he said, don't ever make an argument unless you can argue for the other team.
Yeah.
If you can't argue for the other team, you've got no place, because you don't understand the argument. So let me make the argument for the other team. Let's say they're right, and this is a custody battle, and they're using, he is a Christian, and it's just using, you know, porn as an excuse to get his kid. Completely reasonable. Why, if you were the dad, if you've got them on meth and guns charges, why do you need the paedophile stuff? Why do you even need it?
Yeah.
If anything's going to make your case weaker if it falls apart.
Yeah.
If it is a custody battle, it's a losing argument on the dad's side. He's already got him on the guns and meth. Why, he could just leave it at that and a porn shit. That's enough. Thank you.
Yeah.
Probably a much quicker case. Less traumatic for the child.
Yeah. And especially if they're like, oh, you're going from a porn star to a fundamentalist Christian, like, they'd be like, oh, okay, it's no question about it.
It's not a giant leap, porn star fucking your own kid. It's not a giant leap.
Yeah.
No.
And
meth.
You know, I didn't even think about that, but you're so right, and it really, you know, he's got them without this charge. Why add it in? You don't need icing on a cake. You got more than enough. Like,
if anything, it's going to complicate your case, because if you get that case wrong, it makes you look like, if you get one thing wrong in a case, you're just not reliable as what you were. I mean, everything's like bang, 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 bang.
Well, and here's the other thing is,
why
it's
even
like,
cast any doubt?
But and the thing too is, like, you know, the guns is enough, the meth is enough, the porn studio is enough. That all added together is more than enough. But what trumps all of that? Molesting your child. Like, it's almost like a separate thing. So it's like, why even bring in this whole separate thing? Because it overshadows all the stuff that is enough there. And like you're saying, if this allegation that doesn't even need to be there, if it was merely over custody, gets proven to be false, all the other stuff is kind of going to go out the window, because now you've cast yourself in a bad light. You don't look like a trustworthy person. Like, it could, you know, there's no need for it.
And then the other defense I've heard is they'll come back to and go, well, Paul, it might have just been your new boyfriend. Like, I thought it didn't even happen. And that's like, it didn't even happen. Now it could be the ex. Oh, it could be. She don't fucking say. Even if it is what you're saying is right, she still needs to go to jail. She
Yeah.
knew. She must have known. You can't have a boyfriend fucking your daughter that's 9 and you don't know.
Well, yeah. I mean, and you're
And they're going, it could happen. She might not have known.
and
There
you're
are
losing that.
5 police reports.
You're losing
You told me she
that
didn't have
custody
them
battle
5 police
anyway.
reports, no? She didn't know about them. She knew. And if you thought you were going to be sub this, how come she's spreading this out when she's in jail? Would have been handy if you spoke about it 2017 when it first got the allegation. You would have gone on and gone, hey, there's some allegations about me and my family. I just want to set the record straight here. You don't do it when you're in jail with no bail. Just saying. But Axl Rose on YouTube is still gonna fucking defend her. You look like Axl Rose.
And you know what the troubling thing is, and I saw a video, I want to say it was with Lift the Veil, or like, you know, people who are just like so tied into the Pizzagate, and, you know, Macaulay Culkin with a box of donuts, and, like, you know, just all that stuff. Like, that's their MO, the online digital pedo hunters, where, I mean, it's like, you know, you and me cover the topics, but I wouldn't say it's our thing. And with these people, it's like their thing, where it's like they are just pedo hunting all day long. So anyway, one of these guys within one of these communities was
Random Rants and Ryan's quite good.
Was online trying to get with like a 12-year-old or something like that, and then it came out.
Oh, that Australian guy, Gunk.
Yeah. It's
He
that.
hung around with Jamie Deluxe.
I don't know. I don't know the names, so I don't want to. But I'm pretty.
Jamie Deluxe is the one that's on Owen Benjamin now.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Mr. Gunk.
Yeah.
14-year-old.
Yeah, and then I saw Lift the Veil or something, one of these people doing a commentary on it and saying, you know, well, in this country, the law says that 14 is this, and, you know, it's like, he's in this country, and they're in that one, and the law says, and blah, 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 and it's like, all I can think is, I'm like, you know, if you really gave a shit about this child abuse stuff and pedophilia and everything like that, you wouldn't just be saying, well, this arbitrary number that the authority figures in this country has decided on, you know, like,
if you're 14 as well.
Yeah.
I'm not 14.
Well, and it still is like
the same age as me. It's like it makes you want to. I want a full good woman, okay?
Yeah, and well, that's what I was. It's like I don't give a fuck what the law says. Like you're an adult. You're 30-something years old, talking to someone who isn't old enough to vote. Like
and winning the chick over.
It's. I mean, it's like
the art of the deal.
It's so ridiculous that I couldn't even believe it, and it just sort of discredits, and then after it discredits all the work that they've, you know, claimed they've done as far as exposing pedophiles, like, it then just sort of makes you look at them and say, what is their MO in this? Like, it almost like, I hate to make allegations and accusations at people, but it almost just, you start to look at them and just ask yourself, is pedophilia their thing? Is it not the exposing it, but are they trying to almost infiltrate to be a part of it? Like especially when they're rationalizing for each other these things where it's like, okay, well, if you're, you know, giving the excuses for why this guy was doing this and saying it's nothing wrong with it, what else are you okay with? What are you doing? What are you willing to do? Like, it just, I don't know. Like, I look at it and it's like, the idea of, like, what? That I'd be trying to holler at one of my niece's friends? Fuck out of here with that. Like, that's so disgusting.
Look, you can have transgender, you can have a kid dancing in a gay bar, doing this transgender shit. No one's doing shit. Look, I don't know if I can say this on YouTube. How come no one shot up that gay bar? That's what I can't understand. Like, I know it sounds sick. But if you hear about all these school shootings, you hear about all these shootings happening in America, there's a gay bar that advertises children on stage.
Yeah.
No one fires one bullet.
You're right. I mean, not that I'm condoning that activity or anything like that. What I'm
You would
saying,
expect,
you're right. Is
I'm
like,
just saying, you
yes,
would
yes.
expect it.
With the narrative they
Especially with
weave.
these out of control Christians like Jamie that got the MAGA hats on.
Yeah.
That listen to people like, I don't want to advertise them, but Alex Jones.
Well, you're right. The narrative they give, you would
White
have
supremacists.
expected someone to firebomb
Like
that
Gaffer McInnes
place
and
or
Owen
something.
Benjamin. People listen to Owen Benjamin, Jamie. Then you think someone would have...
Well, now, and you know, like you're saying about from the other side, like imagine if you had...
Could you imagine if it happened? Like, what would the public reaction actually be if
Well,
it happened?
well,
Like, people would be like, yeah, you shouldn't... Yeah, I reckon people would just be like, I don't mind if that slides.
well, no, you'd have the whole left saying it's a hate crime, and that's why I was about to say, you know, imagine if it was from the other way around, where you had, you know, a right-wing group, you know, doing something that the left found appalling. I mean, God knows what that could even be at this
it proves
point.
how soft the right are.
Yeah, because you would have had Antifa throw a Molotov cocktail through that window that night. Like, they would have been outside there. I mean, they were
be able to shut the place
they were
down.
ready to kick in Tucker Carlson's door just for breathing. Like, I mean, like that's the whole point is like the violence on the left, like that it would have been attacked and shot up and blown up and whatever else if it were the other way around. And they tell you the right wing is so violent, hate crimes are increasing, blah, blah, blah. This would have been the one where there would have been older people on the left, like people my mom's age, baby boomer liberals who don't have a grasp on the current state of politics, but think they're voting for JFK in each Democrat. Those people, I mean, they would be like, wait, there's a kid dancing on stage? Well, I could see, you know.
They're just putting it out there on purpose just to see what we will put up with, and they know we'll put up with just literally anything.
Yeah.
Like, they can do anything. Like, in England, like, I don't believe it actually happened. Like, obviously something went bang, but no one died. No one got hurt. The Manchester bombing, where they could convince everyone, I mean, if they did do it, that they blew up a kiddies concert. No one did shit in England. No one did shit.
Yeah.
They lit a couple of candles. Like, no one was like, okay, that's it.
Yeah. We need
Didn't
to put
even
our foot
spark
down.
a debate about immigration. Didn't even spark a debate about this. Nothing.
You know, speaking of not doing
A kiddies
shit,
concert.
I was thinking, you know, we have those change.org, that site where people can make petitions on. I think one of the things I was thinking of making a petition about was making a petition to launch a full investigation and background check into Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, and basically be, you know, she says she's from the Bronx, she's actually from Westchester, she says this about her family, it's actually this. She has launched this new Green Deal, which is basically a environmentalist...
I like the bit where it said you should be able to have an income whether you can work or whether you just don't want to.
Yeah, and just basically be like, this Green New Deal is an environmentalist facade for a full communist overthrow, and basically be like, I want to know if she's colluding with a communist government or subversive factor like the Russians or the Chinese, and basically take, you know,
She's got tits and vagina, she's gonna cause some damage.
Yeah, I know. But that's what I'm saying. I think, you know, even if there was a petition floating around to launch a full background check and investigation into her, if that picked up traction, I think that would be...
Like, I don't want to do, like, it's like this in England too, but it's easy to do the American thing. How many people are just going to be at home like Americans, just with their eating, just overweight, wanking off, going, well, it's dumb, but I like whacking off to her. Like, you do not underestimate the power.
Oh,
it doesn't matter what nonsense she talks.
I definitely...
If you can whack off to her, it's going to get a lot of...
Well, and here's the thing is, I think she... You know, if there was a sort of virus unleashed upon the black community to think straight by Kanye West and Candace Owens and all these people that have black people...
Kanye West?
I don't know,
but
if there was like,
you need to get that dude a cape.
Someone
would get that dude a cape.
If those factors had black voters on the fence about going right wing, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez is like the antidote to that, because I'm telling you, I know people on my Facebook friends list that like black people that would vote, and they would vote for her just because she's hot. Like they compared to.
Yeah, I'm not going for those news stories again. You see what happens when a woman does a brutal murder and she's hot.
Yeah.
Walks.
Well, and that's even like the thing you're.
Dude, you got to deal with the cow farts. I read that in there.
Even the thing like you were saying last week, like even with her being
Did you
dumb.
read the cow farts?
Yeah, I read the whole cow fart thing is stupid. It's like a talking point for the left. Like I know people that are like vegans that are like, well, the climate change from the cow farts. Like this is like a running joke with them, or it's a joke on them, but doesn't surprise me.
There's got to be an editor there. It's like I'm crazy, I'm a dick.
I was telling my mom about it.
Delete the stuff about the Jews, okay? The other stuff's fine.
My mom's a Democrat. I was talking to her about it.
There'd be some kind of.
And I said,
kind of going, yeah, you want to reword this.
I was talking to my mom, and she's a Democrat about it, and I'm like, this woman is going to destroy your party because
it's just sin what we're going to put up with. Like how ridiculous.
Yeah.
How ridiculous.
That's why I think
the entire population is just asleep. I don't know where they are.
That's why I think I need to do this petition on her and see if it picks up traction and gets spread around. I mean, if people retweet it and sign it and push it out there.
Do it for a hate crime.
Maybe. I know that's what she'll say it is. She'll say it's, I thought it was funny. Mark Dice trolled her. It was so funny.
Mark Dice, Kanye Pest did nothing wrong. Mark Dice needs to apologize. He was wrong about Kanye Pest.
Mark Dice did a thing where he republished part of the Green New Deal and had it be like, we'll give farmers Brawndo because it's what plants crave. We're going to recycle urine into our coffee and like all this outlandish stuff. So then AOC comments on it being like, the GOP is publishing a false version of my thing. And Mark Dice's original tweet was, let's push this out here and see if she ends up fact-checking a joke. And sure enough, she did, but she attributed it to the GOP. Like, that woman lives in her own head. Like, she is not operating in reality.
Where did she come out of?
But that's what I'm saying. That's why I need to get the petition out here for a full investigation. People need to be looking, where did she come from? Because something tells me she is like Obama, where the more we look into her past, there's going to be shady things. She's going to have been groomed by someone. That's what I'm wondering. Who groomed her? That's the real question. Who groomed her? Obama had Bill Ayers.
No, I don't think she was groomed. She is genuinely dumb.
Maybe. But I mean, it's like you had Obama who had Bill Ayers groom him, Frank Marshall Davis.
You're giving that too much credit because that implies she's acting. That would take such good acting skills.
That's true. She's not as smooth as Obama.
No, like, could an actor be like Dumb and Dumber? You can tell they're acting. Like, she is. Like, I feel bad. You're making me feel bad, so I shouldn't pick on dumb people.
But she's genuine.
It's not her fault. It's probably not. Like, she probably thinks she's a useful idiot. Like,
yeah.
She's probably thinking she really is.
Gonna save the world.
Change.
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah, well, no one knows who she is in England. That's the main thing.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'll tell you what. I wonder if she didn't have someone grooming her then. I wonder who's going to be now, because they'll place a handler around her and just have it. Someone it'll just seem like it's just
there will be a porn tape.
A little bit of influence.
She'll be the
guarantee you. That's a good prediction.
Of the patriarchy. Yeah. See, only the patriarchy would do a thing like that.
She's going to have a sex tape come out. At first they're going to claim it's one of those deep fake videos. Then eventually they're going to admit it. And then thirdly she'll claim she's the victim.
Dude, they've got to go to Republican Party and go, did anyone fuck that chick? Seriously, did anyone fuck her? Drunk? In a room, just
I'm telling you, it's gonna be, but it's gonna be like who's the CNN reporter, Acosta? It's gonna be like the Acosta thing where he pushes.
You think no one recorded it? We need to know.
It's gonna
You
be.
just need to know.
It's gonna be like the Acosta thing where he pushed the woman's hand down and they denied it happened. Then they said the video's fake. Then they said the tape of her is gonna come out. First they'll say it's fake. Then they'll say it's real. Then they'll say it was hacked. Then she's gonna say she's the victim of hacking and whatever.
Sides. It's like the victimhood culture are gonna be like, oh, I've got a vote for her. And if people like to whack off to porn, then it'd be like, hey, she takes good head.
Yeah.
Voting for it. Like literally, that is. Have you not seen Idiocracy?
Yeah, that's
work.
yeah.
It does work.
It's so funny. I showed it to a friend of mine earlier this week, and he was like, "How have I not seen this before?" I was like,
"Have you not seen it?"
I have. Yeah, I was just saying I showed it to someone earlier this week.
It's like my favorite. It's one of my favorite. I love. Is it Matt? Not Matt Judge. Is it Mike Judge?
Yeah.
Mike Judge?
Yeah, Mike Judge.
He's done a great new thing with the road tour bus, where he covers like the Western music scene and just how in like every single story, it's like done in cartoon with the original people that are still alive. Every Western song. I thought Western music was like nice Christian music. How wrong was I? Like every story ends in gunfire. Someone gets shot in the leg. Someone gets shot in the face. I was really shocked by that. And then they did with the funk movement, you get a bit of Prince in there in his early day.
Nice.
Yeah. It's just good Mike. It's just a good cartoon. It's a good way of putting a cartoon together because they are kind of like King of the Hill characters, aren't they? In many ways.
Yeah. I'll have to check that out. I didn't know he was doing that.
Oh, it's so cool. Yeah, you'd love it.
Is there any other news in the past couple of days?
No, should we dare try and predict what we're going to get hit with next?
I mean, I did see they're talking about signing the spending bill, and they are giving Trump money for the wall, but he's not happy about it. I don't know. Apparently, they've come to an agreement, but he's not real happy with it. So we'll see. It's looking close, though.
He can't call whatever it is, like emergency action. He can't call that. Like I like Trump, but
I don't think he's gonna have to at this rate.
He can't.
Oh well, you know what?
Floodgate. If he opens that floodgate, that's going to be open to every other president that comes after him.
You know what?
He can't. He will lose. I don't think it's that bad at the deal.
I don't. No, he's already gotten a deal. It's not gonna have to get that far.
Where's the wall, Jamie?
It's in the bill that
You're not
the
getting
spending bill.
Jamie,
I just told you.
She's not getting locked
No,
up.
I just told you. It's been approved already.
We didn't go to the moon.
The wall has been. The Democrats are approving the wall. Trump is just saying he wants even more. So I mean, it's like the wall is already there. Now it's just a question of like how big, how large. So the wall's already. It's in the bag.
Mexico isn't paying for it.
That's probably not happening.
Yeah, but you answer that's part of the deal. You negotiate for the ridiculous stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, we all knew that.
But what was it? There's the thing I was going to say is the Russia probe ended. The Russia.
No, I'm worried about you, bro.
Why?
You're in a cult. I was in the cult too. I broke free.
What kind of cult?
You gotta watch out, Trump. Just watch out for him. Keep an eye on him.
I am.
He isn't kosher.
I don't know. Some people think he's too kosher.
He says all the right stuff. I loved the entertainment. I loved the comedy fact. Like it's funny. It's funny. But there's no wall. She's not locked up. The swamp hasn't been drained.
But hold on. Let me
You're doing the
like
same shit to Venezuela. What it was in when they tried to do Chavez, but they never finished that. And it's just like I was looking into it. Like Venezuela, you were right. It is in Confessions of an Economic Hitman. They did try it. They didn't pull it off. And what they're doing now seems like exactly the same as what's in Confessions of an Economic Hitman. Exactly the same thing. Sending in the jackals when you don't get the contracts you want. And then when you look at the Economist magazine, it's got Venezuela. They're bragging about how it's a coup. They're bragging, like, read the Economist. You know what that magazine's like. They're bragging about it.
Yeah. But
they're going to strip the nation. None of the proposals that Trump's putting forward for Venezuela is good for the Venezuelan people. None of it. It just means that America are going to seize every asset, every business is worth stripping. They're going to strip it like they did. It's going to be like what happened to Greece. They're going to have to go through austerity to people. And I'm not sure, don't quote me on this, I haven't checked this out, but I think we've seriously got, like, how do we know Venezuela was actually so squeezing them? I don't think they are, don't quote me, I don't think, are they a socialist country?
I'm pretty sure.
Any what America is? I think they had private food companies. Private food distributors. I don't think it was distributed.
I don't know, and that's why I don't even.
Socialism, you're gonna eat your dog. It's like that's because of read Confessions of an Economic Hitman. I'm butchering it, but it's where you just need to read the book.
I don't know, but I don't. I know nothing about Venezuela. Let me just, I'll just say that. I don't, because, well, you're even asking me, is it socialist? Everything I've heard, they've said it's socialist. But, I mean, it's like, but even like, the whole thing, like, I don't buy...
No, but you know that it's been an agenda for the deep state to fuck over Venezuela.
I don't know that. I have no idea. I know nothing of Venezuela. I don't pay attention to South America. Why would it... It's really like I'm completely ignorant on everything South America. I know we've done gun running out of there. I know cocaine comes up from down there, and I know people come up from down there. That's about it.
The other thing with Venezuela, the other thing you got to remember is when this happens, Venezuela's options of dealing with America are pretty much minimal. Like, it's insane. So what they end up doing is they do end up making friends with people like Saddam Hussein, with people like Assad, with people like Putin, because they've got something in common, like they're going to stick together. And then they use that against Venezuela, going, well, you know, the president does do deals with Saddam Hussein. It's like, well, who else are you going to fucking do deals with?
I mean, I just think, as far as the one thing, because
I just sent you a link, just so you can just quickly check it out. Like you did say, if it's in, you did say to me, though, to be fair, last podcast, if it is in Confessions of an Economic Hitman, it's going to change my mind. It's all in here, and let's just read it together. It talks about how they wanted to get the IMF bank in there, and they're like, nah, don't want it. And then, like, there is a whole chapter on it in that book that you said, if it's in that book, it's going to make me rethink about this. It is. John Perkins, Venezuela Economic Hitman. Like, you can Google it. It's pretty well covered. Now it's 2002. What you're seeing now is no different to what happened. I don't think it's.
Well, yeah, if there's not
an unfinished job.
Yeah.
Trump is doing unfinished business in Venezuela.
See, but again, the problem I have is by saying, like, it's unfinished business.
You're in a cult.
But hold on, the problem is, though, it's like from saying it's unfinished business from what, the 80s, and therefore Trump from 30 years later is it's I just think some of these things are in.
You worked it better than I could.
But here's the part that aggravates me so much.
Perkins,
hold on,
best-selling author
about it is like it's when we go and say, like, I feel like when people take issues like this and then just write it off on the president, and I'm probably guilty of doing this with Obama, is it attributes power and planning to the office of presidency that really lies in places like Skull and Bones, Bilderberg, Bohemian Grove, the UN, Well, I think something has to be done about it, unfortunately, because it's become this right-wing talking point of socialism bad, whatever.
During Trump's campaign, he was saying, look, the reason he won, one of the key reasons, was his, like, we've got no business meddling. None.
Yeah.
And everyone's like, yeah,
and I agree with that, but it then becomes one of these issues of, like, how do you...
doesn't look good.
How do you let these countries right below you collapse without having a border issue like the UK,
Well,
like the UK with the migrant crisis?
That's what we need to ask: is why did they collapse? Was it due to economic sanctions and just crushing their currency, like it says in Confessions of an American Hitman?
I have no idea. I mean,
they just never recovered from that.
I mean, I doubt that's the case for all South American countries, because they're all... I mean, some of it's just they live under warlords and dictators and tyrants themselves. Like, I can't buy into the idea that the U.S. is ultimately responsible for everyone's issues in all their homelands. I mean, because it's just... you know, a lot of them aren't run by great people themselves.
But you should be... I mean, Trump's got it in 2020. He's got it. That's gonna. I can imagine what had a snowflake.
But I just think
I'm gonna enjoy watching it. But
I just think in
really?
some of these
Trump?
cases, it's
Really?
like, in some of these cases, it's just, especially the military-industrial ones, it's like a matter of like, I just see it as these are gears that have been just rolling along for so long that it's like, I don't think. I think some of it, it's like.
You've got to admit that.
I mean, these are things that I wish you...
For him to even be president in the first place.
Well,
Trump.
yeah, they've been out of hand. You've had the deep state running the government since they took out Kennedy.
Don't get England's no better. We had Tony Blair. I mean, come on.
I mean, that's the but this is the point I'm making.
We've got a royal family.
We've had this machine running, basically, like this military industrial. We've had this military industrial machine.
We buy teacups with the swamp.
Right. We've had this military industrial machine just running since Kennedy was assassinated, just running the show, only giving you spokesmen, you know, and everything like that. That it's been so entrenched that it's like, I can't see Trump just coming into office and that machine coming to a grinding halt. And it's like, that's what some of these issues, like especially the military-industrial ones, are a part of. And it's like, you know, in some of these, it's like, I don't want, let me put it like this.
Trump wants to put in Venezuela an oil tycoon.
I don't want...
Oil tycoon.
Listen.
Trump wants to put an oil tycoon to replace the president of a sovereign state.
But an oil tycoon as opposed to who? As opposed to who else? That's my question. An oil tycoon as opposed to who else? A welder?
It just sounds a bit sketchy.
I don't think Trump hand selected who this person in the first place. That's the point I'm trying to make. Is that there's a machine running behind the pictures that gave us Obama, that gave us Bush. Again, Bilderberg, Skull and Bones, you know, all of the dark, deeper forces, the forces that killed Scalia in a ritual at a hunting retreat. This machine, that it's like, again, I think in some of these, and I was going to say, I don't want me saying this
I give you that. It is weird that Trump hasn't been in a... I do find that weird. That does give him kudos.
That what?
He hasn't been... It is phenomenal. It really doesn't look like he's been to Bohemian Grove. It doesn't look like he's been a Mason. It doesn't look like he's been in Skull and Bones.
Yeah.
It doesn't look like he has any connection to the Fabian Society. He is linked to the Russian mafia.
And it's like, that's what I'm saying. But it's construction. His mob ties, the mob ties make complete sense with just New York City construction. So, I mean, yeah, there's dark, shady figures in his past, but it's not the same sort of dark, shady as, you know, child sacrifice. You know, so there's overlap, Epstein and things like that. But again, Epstein was also a real estate New York City investor, and, you know, so those are those common circles. But the thing I was going to say is, and I don't want this to make it seem like I'm in a personality call of Trump sort of excuse, but it's like, with this sort of machine, like I said, that where they, you know, killed Scalia and things like that, like, some of these things, I think it's like Trump might as well just say, like, not my fight. Like, you know, I'm here to restore America. If the deep state's going to do whatever in Venezuela, let them have Venezuela. I'd rather fight for... Like, it's almost like you have to pick and choose your battles. because it's like, you know, especially the monetary ones, because it's like, you know, if he opposed that, you're going up against the same force that killed Kennedy. Like, they took out Gaddafi, they took out Kennedy. You think they aren't going to just assassinate Trump if he stands in the way of that one? I mean, that's the banking now we're talking about.
Well, I think we can find common ground that the Venezuela is at least not a good idea.
No, it's not. I'm a non-interventionalist. I am a non-interventionalist. There isn't any point of meddling that I'll ever agree with or say is good or anything like that. I just don't think this is like one of those things that you can just attribute solely to Trump. I think this was like far more of international monetary, the people behind the scenes. Like, they're the ones that really wanted Gaddafi, you know, pulled and Syria collapsing and destabilized. The people have invested interest in that. I don't think Trump has invested interest in it like the same way Hillary Clinton's tied into Benghazi. I think at this one he's just letting them run their course. Like, they know this plan was in place, and he's just like, you know what, this isn't going to be my battle to you know, oppose it. Just if the military generals are saying this is the best plan, and I'll go out there and say it's the best plan. Like I said, do I wish he would stop it and say we're not meddling this and that? Yeah.
I think it's weird that the only time the mainstream media has been positive towards Trump is over Venezuela.
Yeah.
That seems to be where both sides seem to be like, oh, this is one thing we wouldn't attack Trump on. But it seems like the most obvious thing to...
Yeah, but that's because I don't think it's him at the helm of it.
Fire, I thought, was what Alex was like. I'm surprised even Alex is like.
Yeah.
You'd think Alex Jones would know better.
I don't know. It bothers me in general, like how I was saying before, where it's like almost like, you know, the right wing is used.
And Alex Jones went weird ever since Tyson. So I'm looking at Tyson. Ever since Roger Stone. But.
Yeah,
you know,
the thing is
weird. All this, he's doing it again. With his coke jaw.
Well, the thing that I hate is, you know, it's like
he's weird. Fuck. He is actually a cuck.
It's like
he is actually a cuck. Black dudes fuck his wife and watches.
I just don't like how I feel like the right wing brought this upon themselves, and they're the ones that are normally non-interventionalist, you know, keep to yourselves, but it's like they're using Venezuela as a talking point over and over and over and over, saying how people are starving and this and that. And I mean, it does give Trump leverage if somehow it works out well for him to, you know, be able to say America had to save the world from socialism again, therefore these Democrats calling it, you know, you can't say we need to save Venezuela from it and now impose it here. Like, these are the same. Like, it plays into a political narrative too much on all sides. And that's why, like you said, with the mainstream media not objecting it, that is probably the most worrisome part about it. Like, where it's like, I think that's why I said military-industrial complex, because that's who's really running the media, who's really, you know, the banking is really working for. It's like the bullets and, like, money and bullets.
Should we do the highlight of the day? I think I've been looking forward to the most.
Sure.
Go on Drudge Report, bro. Drudge Report never lets us down. It's got your favourite person, look. I'm going to get you a t-shirt of her on. Replace your MAGA hat.
Who is it? Let me see.
Hey, I got.
Oh my God! Ah!
Look at. There's a good picture. She's just casting her evil spell.
I know.
He is a witch, guys.
Yeah. That's something else. I'm gonna put that picture up on screen. I just have to turn it around.
We got Michael Jackson edited out of Motown history, new TV special.
Really?
Michael Jackson is Motown, guys. There is no Motown without Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson did nothing wrong.
Now, you know, oh, here's under Jussie Smollett cries as he gives his first interview. You know what's interesting about that is I saw this rapper who was real big in the 90s, Joe Buttons, talk about it. And I mean, he just...
What's the most famous moment of Motown, that Motown show they do? What's the most famous moment of all time?
Soul Train? I think it was
Bee Gees
ABC.
Moonwalk.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Probably the most famous musical performance of all time.
Yeah.
And it's going to be edited out. Because of some guy called, what is his name, Wade Robson or whatever. The most unbelievable story I've seen. And Corey Feldman, like, he's getting a hard time. They're like, why don't you name the pedophiles? Why don't you name the pedophiles? Why do you need $10 million to make a film? I'm with Corey. Like, he did go to the cops. You can listen to the police tapes. He did. And they kept going, did Michael Jackson rape you? Did Michael? And he was like, fuck Michael. No. Like, I'm giving you names of people that did actually molest you. Fuck Michael Jackson. No, he's a good guy. And then when he gives the names, they laugh. They go, yeah, but back to Michael Jackson. So, of course, then they go, well, why don't you go to the cops, Corey? Why don't you name him? He did. I think it's a good idea that he makes a film. They're like, do you need $10 million? It's like, yeah, he needs to script it himself. He has to produce it. He has to edit it and tell his story. Otherwise, the story will get... Michael Jackson warned. Like, if anyone else gets involved in the story, it's going to get gone. I'm not going to let the story out. That's why it's going to cost a fucking fortune for Corey Feldman to do it. Is Corey Feldman nuts? Yes. Should we give him $10 million? Yes. He would make a great film on it. A great film. If he could cast it himself, produce it himself, distribute it himself. Yeah. Could he distribute it himself? Yeah, I reckon he could. Could he produce it himself? Probably going to be a bit weird, but yeah, he could do it if we got him some help. Then everyone's tearing this guy apart. It's like, I thought Michael Jackson was a pedo. Obviously he wasn't. How did this film even get any kind of like credibility? It's the most ridiculous. Like, I even fell for it. I've got to be, when I heard this new Michael Jackson film, explosive, shocking evidence disappeared, I was like, I've been defending Michael for a long time. And also, what's wrong with me? Like, I studied that case 3 or 4 years. How did I get it so wrong? And then I took the time to actually look at this film. It's like, the film is insanely dumb. There aren't even any illegal accusations. Send in the facts, not evidence of being a pedo. Send in a cartoon. I'm sorry, that is not shocking.
Yeah.
I mean, how did this even... And it's the same, the next very story, like, this is why Drudge is so clever. You've got Michael Jackson. The very next story is very similar. How did this ever pick up speed? I got hijacked outside a subway at 3 in the morning when it's like -17 because I wanted to buy a sandwich. Then I got racially attacked by people wearing MAGA hats in Chicago. And they tied a noose around my throat. And I kept the noose on for like a couple of hours so people could see how bad it was. I didn't want to move it because it's evidence. It's like, how did this story ever pick up speed? How? How? How did this ever even become a thing?
I don't know.
God damn it, Jamie.
Saga continues.
Let's continue on. Cannabis smoking this weed contains linked to depression. Yeah, I think you should let your brain fully develop.
I was saying before, I saw an interview with that Joe Buttons guy on the Jussie Smollett attack, and he brings up a handful of points, just saying, you know, things don't add up. But one of the things he said I thought was interesting is he was talking about when he was you know, well-known rapper and stuff like that. A day before one of his video shoots, he said he got into a fight with 7 guys, and the label came to him, and he said he got his ass whooped. He said, and he wanted to make a statement, wanted to address it, but instead the label wanted him to fabricate a story and basically cover it up and spin it in a way that would best help him. And he was saying, you know,
what is the riddle? Like, why would you put the story out? What is the...
Well, people are thinking that he was sleeping...
Who benefits out of this story?
Yeah, people were thinking that he was sleeping with someone else's boyfriend or something, and they whooped his ass.
That's what I honestly think happened. I think he was... I don't know what gay people call it. I think it's a homosexual.
Yeah, he is. No, he is. That's
I don't know. I'm just looking. I think he was, you know, looking for dick, and he asked the wrong guys. I mean, they didn't beat him that hard. They're like, dude,
well, there's a story going around Reddit where, like, apparently he was at a well-known gay bar out in Chicago where he frequents, and that he was leaving there and he was talking to the wrong person or someone else's lover, and then they smacked him up and, you know, everything like that. And they said even the picture...
It's not a face you want to slap.
Well, and that's it. Even Joe Budden said, he must have been attacked by the nicest racist ever, because even the pictures of him being attacked looked like... I mean, he's got a scratch on his face. Like, that's about it. Like, and I mean, it's funny, I was just reading an article that had a handful of quotes about it from different people in the area that were really funny. Let me find it. It was a link on Drudge Report. But one of them was like saying, like, this is the most liberal city ever. Like, why? And now he's giving an interview. Like, one of the things he even said, he's an outspoken left-wing gay black activist. Like, he's finally giving his first interview. Like, anyone else on the left would have been, like, giving interviews that night. But I think it's one of those things where the more he talks, the more the story would fall apart. Here are some of the quotes. I don't believe it happened the way he said it did, said Ajin Muhammad, who lives in the same swank high-rise near Navy Piers as Smollett. I've been in this neighborhood 5 years. I don't believe it. Not around here. Half the people are gay. The other half are black. Lizzie McNeil's Irish pub block said...
what it could be, I could be giving the kid too much credit here. Let's say it did go down like that, and he was a bit drunk. We've all done it. Not the gay sex sodomy bit, but the bit afterwards where he got the shit kicked out of him, and he kind of told some stories he shouldn't have told. Yeah, because that happens, you know, it's like...
Yeah.
And then this is the result of when, you know, you tell a story... You tell a lie, and then the lie just keeps...
Well, not even that. Like, and this is why there's the whole issue about the phone records and them being redacted and everything like that. It's like either he was on the phone with this other person's boyfriend or something like that, or the one thing they're saying is right after the attack, he was on the phone with his manager. So it's like, why are you on the phone with your manager? Because you're like, oh, just so you know, I got beat up. How are we going to handle this? What are, you know, I bet this whole story isn't even his story. It's the manager's. The manager probably said, all right, well, we'll tell them it was this and this, you know, this and that. Like, I bet him and the manager concocted the lie together.
What the fuck?
And then the whole thing with him, you know, him getting the letters with the fucking cut up, you know, serial killer type letters from magazine stuff. I mean, the whole thing's kind of ridiculous. And one of the other funny things that Joe Budden's talked about is one of his Empire co-stars, after it happened, said, you know, show support. We need to get him like 1 million spins on his new video. And in the video, it has a dude with a noose around his neck. Like... You
know where he would be safe?
Where?
If you've scrolled down, it's got in the closet of the Vatican, power, homosexuality and hypocrisy. It's got these 5 links. Explosive new book lifts lid on gay priests in Vatican. 4 in 5 priests are homosexuals, next headline. Encouraged to use male prostitutes is the next headline. I mean, bro, try just fixed it for you. Speak a little Italian?
Doesn't surprise me, 4 and 5 homosexual. Milo would always talk about that. Ketamine nasal spray for depression wins FDA backing. Ooh.
Where's that?
It's on Drudge across from the other stuff. Underneath the picture of the person getting tattooed.
Oh yeah. What's happened to that Ginsburg lady? She dead?
Oh, I don't know. Ruth Bader Ginsburg. Left for Dead. Horrific injuries of Holocaust survivor 100 killed in street for $20 by coward thief. Poor woman.
Hang on, let me see that. I'm guessing this is in Europe then.
Yeah, it was in the UK.
Muzzies. 25 dollars.
I don't know. It says his name is Arthur Waskinski. I don't know. That's.
Okay.
But I mean,
Yeah.
he does kind of look Middle Eastern. Might have been a Muslim.
Yeah, this is just, if you click on the Sun, the news, the actual thing, you get an idea of what London's like. Like, every day it's 3 or 4 stabbings.
Well, it says this woman needed an easy target, or this one needed an easy target.
Remember,
Steal
England's
some.
tiny. It's like one state, probably.
Yeah. He was just trying to get $20 from her to buy heroin.
She would have just given him the $20. If he'd just gone up to him and gone, look, I'm going to beat the fuck out of you. Just give me 20 quid, and then you don't get the shit kicked out of you. She would have just given it to her. Like, why can't you just do that? Like, if you have to do it and use violence, why don't you go, hey, look, I'm going to use violence. Just hand it over.
Let's see, it says he was born.
Why can't you do that though? Because she's like 100, she's going to hand it over.
It says he
You
was.
don't have to like actually beat the shit out of her.
Yeah, it says he was born in Poland after his fingerprint was recovered from a receipt in the bag. He fled the city and hid under a bed at his mom's house in London to avoid arrest, drastically altered his appearance by cutting his long hair. Jesus.
Yeah, it's usually a bit more...
And I mean, that was broad daylight, too.
Yeah, with the London stabbings, it's normally on the train on the way to work, so it's normally in the day. Yeah. Oh yeah, the grooming gang in Rochdale, you know, the one that Tommy Robinson got involved in.
Yeah.
And he was filming. They're getting those legal fees are going to come up to £1 million.
What, to put him away, or?
No, now they're put away. They're doing all these like human rights nonsense. And we've got to pay for it. £1 million.
That's ridiculous. But anyway, I think we should probably wrap up. It's been like an hour and a half. I got some stuff around here I got to get done tonight.
Yeah.
But we can do it again on Sunday.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to keep an eye on that Mercedes thing.
Yeah.
It'd be a while till we hear anything, but...
Yeah. It's definitely, they're going to keep her locked up till it goes to court. But
she probably won't make it to court.
Maybe not.
Dude, come on.
But all right. Well, I'll talk to you later.
Alright, see ya.
All right.